All right, everybody, we got a negative low tide, and I've done a little fishing this morning. I caught some sea trout, a bunch of snook on topwater, but I'm gonna change it up a little bit. I have some shrimp with me. I got an aerator running. We're gonna go throw some shrimp on the bottom. So I got my shrimp, not too big, not too small. I'm gonna hook him right in the crease of the tail so that he can kind of sit on the bottom naturally. People have all different preferences for how they hook them, but I think this works pretty well. If I start to see my heads being eaten off, I might hook them in the head, not hitting the brain, but going through the shell. But this is usually my favorite way to fish for sheepshead, or just throwing shrimp in general. Again, I got that pinch weight near the bottom, and we're gonna see what we can get fishing this tree line. Oh, got a bite. You're gonna go through a lot of bait, so it's important to have a lot of bait. You'll also catch some other species. A little snapper. Sheepshead have very tough mouths. They have a lot of teeth, so there's really no such thing as too tough of a bait for them. They literally eat shells. They have very characteristic thump thumps, so I can feel the snapper eat my baits. So I'll give this a few attempts. If I can't get through the snapper here to get to those sheepshead that I saw, I'll move spots, because I don't want to be wasting my baits on snappers. But it's important to be right next to the structure when fishing for these guys. Give it a few more attempts, because I did see a few good ones in there, so I'm hoping there's more. But another snapper. See if I get my bait back. Yep. Surgically removed my bait from that snapper. On a little submerged log here. Gotta be careful not to land it on it. But I did see quite a few sheepshead on this one as well. Alright guys, we're changing it up, throwing little shrimp. I got some bigger ones, don't worry. But we're just seeing what we can get. Snapper, sheepshead maybe. I wouldn't mind a redfish. That would be nice to take home. There we go, guys. And it's a freaking redfish. I hope I got a decent enough hook for this dude. He's not tiny. Not bad. Might have swallowed it because I can't see my pinch weight, which would not be fortunate for me. He might be slot. Well, little side catch while trying to get some sheepshead. He swallowed it pretty good, so I don't know if I'll get this back or not, but first let me measure him and see if he's big enough. Forgot I had this ruler on the board. Oh yeah, he's plenty big enough. Alrighty, super overcast, tides barely moving out still, and I found another spot. This looks like a good spot. Another little redfish. Not a bad fish. Come on. So I got my pinch weight. I got my circle hook right in the corner. That's why you love these circle hooks, right in the corner. Make for a really easy releases. Look at that blue tail on that redfish. Eating a lot of crustaceans. Nice. And this is how I'm rigging them up, guys. Just get your pinch weight toward the bottom. You can have it whatever height you like, but I like to have just a few inches. And then circle hook. I'm using a little bit smaller circle hook, maybe to help me out with these sheepshead. But usually a 2 or 3/0 is good. This is a little smaller. And then right through the tail. Try to get it a little closer to that shoreline. I'm looking for a sheepshead, but this is probably a snapper. Yep. Well, this is... Did see a bunch over there, so we're gonna cast a little different spot. There's a bunch of sheepshead around. Oh, missed that bite. Weight slid down a little bit, pull that back up. Grab one of my shrimpies. Let that sink down. Already can feel bites, probably snapper. Yep. A lot of snapper around. So it's tough to get to your... Oh, there goes the bait. It's tough getting to these sheepshead when there's so many snapper around. I have to start fishing the channel a little more where the snapper won't go as often, but the sheepshead and redfish will still stroll around. Got a snapper. Can't really get away from him. Oh, sheepshead, really? I mean, snapper. You only gotta try. Oh, that might be a little better fish. Not a bad snapper. Again, just got a little hook back of the shrimp's tail, little pinch weight, and it is not taking long. Wouldn't mind some bigger fish. I'm actually casting further away from the bank in hopes of finding a sheepshead, because the snapper are just so bad anywhere near the mangroves. Like that. A little redfish. Perfect little setup right there. Pinch weight, circle hook right in the corner, just out like that. Beautiful little redfish. There we go. See if we can spot a tailing redfish, guys. Keep our sheepshead right there. All right, well, sometimes it's just too shallow. Shit. Guys, I got a nice redfish on, and I got a knot on my braid, and I'm using a tiny circle hook. Tiny circle hook. Come on, girl, don't give me too much of a fight. Come on now, it's all wrapped up. All wrapped up. Look at that redfish, guys. Circle hook right in the corner. Tiny, tiny circle hook. That's a nice redfish, guys. Guys, we made it happen. Look at this redfish. Nice little slot redfish. Happy to have gotten one more before the day's over. Let's get a release. There she goes. That's awesome. It feels so good to have gotten that fish. Right at the end of the day too. All right guys, thanks for tuning in, seeing how I rig up shrimp for fishing in mangroves with circle hooks and pinch weights. This is a super easy go-to tactic for fishing for almost anything. Like, you can catch sheepshead, snapper, trout, snook, redfish, as you saw today, and a handful of other species that you'll find in these areas fishing with this method. I was using a smaller circle hook today. That was with the intention of hopefully getting some sheepshead. So if you're targeting, say, redfish or snook, I would go with a little bit bigger hook, maybe 2 out of 3/0 circle hook. But yeah, it was a tough bite today. Couldn't get any sheepshead, but we got some mangrove, plenty of mangrove snapper, and even a few little redfish. One which will be coming home with me for dinner, and a mangrove snapper. But thanks for tuning in and watching the channel, guys. I really appreciate you guys checking in, watching the videos, liking and subscribing. It means a lot to me in my effort to grow this channel. But without anything else, have a good one.